Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning back in to another video here on my channel. Today I'm doing Laura's makeup for a wedding that she's going to, so let's get to it. Y'all know I start with a ton of skincare products to prep all of my clients. I always cleanse, multiple eye creams, multiple moisturizers, a moisturizing spray, and a primer. All of the products plus the brushes will be down below in the text on the screen so you guys know exactly what I am using. Always make sure to massage your client's face too, get the blood kind of pumping into their skin. Okay, so once I have all of that skin prep on and it's sat for a few minutes to really absorb into the skin, I'm going in with my favorite, my RCMA 5 Series Foundation and Concealer palettes. You guys know I love these palettes. I have them in multiple colors. I love going a little bit brighter under the eyes and in the center of the face. Not too much because I don't want too much flashback in photos, but I do like to brighten up, and Laura has a little bit of redness, not too much, so I just kind of went over her redness to try to hide that just a tad bit. I always make sure to press in these products into the skin. It's just going to help the makeup adhere to pores a little bit better, and any excess is going to be absorbed into the sponge so that it doesn't crease on the face. Next up, I'm going in with my RCMA again, and this time I'm going to underpaint Laura's contour on. So she got airbrush makeup, so I always underpaint under airbrush makeup. I love using the new brushes from my Kitco, by the way. You guys are going to be seeing all of them, and this contour brush literally gives me life. So I just literally put a little bit of bronzing RCMA foundation concealer on Laura's contours, and I just kind of blended that out. Just remember, when you're underpainting on your client's face, just keep things super natural, and you always want to make sure you're blending upward and into the client's hairline and onto their ears. Okay, so this is a first on my YouTube channel, at least I think it is. I am using the Temp2 Silk Sphere Airbrush Foundation. This foundation is absolutely phenomenal. I have been using Temp2 since I was in makeup school, and I have never switched to anything else. So I absolutely love this foundation. Airbrush makeup tends to be a little less forgiving than traditional makeup, so you really want to make sure you're taking care of your skin and your clients are fully prepped. And you will always want to keep the airbrush 6 to 8 inches from their skin and spray lightly until you have a really nice desired coverage of foundation. You can get a little closer to your client's skin if you're spot treating at all, or if you're just kind of doing one certain area. That's what I've kind of done with Laura. I was getting kind of details going on if you see me closer to her face. It isn't really necessary to press in the airbrush foundation into your client's skin, but for me, it's just habit. I do like to very, very gently go in and press the airbrush foundation in, just so I know that if there's any excess on there, I don't want it creasing at all. If there is creasing, like under the eyes, for example, I just go in with my Kitco. This is the Flawless Concealer Brush. No, maybe? I don't know. This is one of their concealer brushes. I just went in, worked out any creases, and I set with the RCMA No Color Powder so that I can start kind of going into their eyes, doing detail work, going into brows, things like that. So I actually already did Lara's brows, and I actually recorded that for another YouTube channel for a brand. So I'm just actually going in and just kind of combing out any excess makeup at all. And I'm going over lightly with the Senna brow book. It has like it's like a whole book of powdered brow colors, and I absolutely love it. It's not necessary to, set a brow, but I just kind of wanted to go back over what I had already done. And instead of really layering on multiple layers of like a pomade, just wanted to do a little bit of powder to darken them and kind of give them a little bit more detail. If you've been following me for a while on any social media platforms, you know that my Kitco is the only brush or tool or anything that I use in my professional kit. So this is not a paid partnership with my Kitco. They're just my literal favorite. So I'm taking my Kitco. This is their soft blender brush, and I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette. This is her little quads that she has. Laura really wanted like a pink, red, smoky look, so I just started with her Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette and just layered that pink right inside the crease and outer corner of her eye. So another eyeshadow that I always keep in my kit is the Viseart Mini. I have the Mini Matte eyeshadows, plus I have their Grand Pro palette as well. I absolutely love Viseart's. Their matte shadows are my 100% favorite to keep in my kit. So I'm using the My Kitco On Point Small Blender, and then I'm using the Viseart Mini matte eyeshadows, and I'm just using like a mix of dark browns and a very, very small amount of black in that outer corner of Lara's eye. Going in with that first My Kitco soft blender brush and a little deeper red shade from my Viseart Mini Matte Shadows. I'm just going back over that crease to deepen it and also blend the crease and that outer corner of Lara's eye together so they kind of are one cohesive gradient. So next up, I'm taking the My Kitco My Small Shadow. This is a much flatter eyeshadow brush and just a cream matte shade from my Viseart Mini Matte Shadows. And I'm just going to brighten up the inner corner and center of Lara's lid to really start creating a soft transition from light to dark on her eyelid. Still using that My Kitco flat shadow brush, I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palette Walk of No Shame. This eyeshadow quad has amazing shimmers in it, and I absolutely love the one. It's like a champagne shimmer with mild amounts of like gold mica, and I use that to create like a more shimmery lid and a beautiful transition from light to dark on her eyelid. In the beginning of my career, I could never use a slanted liner brush, but now that I have had years of experience, I am obsessed with the My Tilted Liner, which is brand new for My Kitco. It makes it so easy to put on gel liner, and I've recently switched to Pretty Vulgar gel eyeliner in black. This eyeliner is amazing. It just kind of glides right on, and once it sets and it does not budge, so it doesn't feather out or anything, and it really is just so easy to work with. Plus you get a ton of product in the container that it comes from. no look is finished without any lash of any sort. So I use the Ardell Wispies on Lar, which are my own personal favorite. You guys know I have been using Ardell lashes for the longest time, and my favorite tool to apply lashes with is the Velour Lashes eyelash tool. So this just kind of makes it really easy to kind of control the lashes and get them as close to the lash line as possible. Once I'm done with detail areas such as eyes and brows and lashes, all that good stuff, I always go back in and I set the face with Studio Fix from MAC. Now this is a powder foundation. It's not just a sheer powder or a light powder. This is a powder foundation. So I take very light amounts and layers to go in and set my client's face and build the desired coverage. I try not to go real heavy because again, this is a foundation, so definitely keep that in mind. And of course, I'm using the My Kitco My Buffing Powder, which is new to their line, and I love how it fits under the eyes. It is literally perfect. So going back in and setting that contour, I am using the My Soft Bronzer, again new from My Kitco, and I'm using the Airbrush Matte Foundation, bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. These are my favorite bronzers. I buy the refills and put them in my Mio Cosmetic Cases palettes, the companion palettes, and I have all 4 shades. So I used a mix of the lightest and then kind of the next light shade for Lar since she is so fair. So I actually just stuck with the My Soft Bronzer brush from My Kitco just to see how it applied blush, and I am obsessed. Like, the lightest amount of blush went onto her skin and she just looks absolutely gorgeous. Going in with the Charlotte Tilbury new Face Architect highlighters, I just highlighted some of her higher points, her cheekbones, under her brows, her inner corners, and a little bit in her T-zone. I didn't want her to get too shiny and look too oily later on in the night. And I just applied this all with my Fluff and Buff, like the large version from My Kitco. Going back in with that flat eyeshadow brush from earlier, I just used a little bit of the Tom Ford Beauty eyeshadow quads. I have 3 or 4 of these, and I have to say they are amazing. So if you don't have them, definitely get some Tom Ford quads. I love a good eyeshadow under the eye versus a liner, so I just kind of smoked it out a little bit with the Tom Ford eyeshadow. The only mascara that I keep in my kit is the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, the waterproof one. This mascara could literally survive a nuclear explosion. Like, I can't. So once her lashes were dry, I just went in and blackened them up with a little bit of mascara. The Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils are wonderful to have in your kit. They're great for brows, eyes, lips, doesn't matter, they're great for everything. This is in Completely Sepia, and it's this beautiful light pink, which is just mixed great with Lar's fair skin and her blue eyes. So I just lightly lined her lips and blended that in to the center of her lips. Using the My Kitco All Over Lip Brush, I just applied a little bit of the Maybelline Beige Babe lipstick, which is like the #1 that I keep in my kit because it is the best nude ever. And I really just kind of put that in the center and then blended that back out towards the colored pencil, that Complete Sepia from Makeup Forever. Always, always, always keep a clear lip gloss in your kit. You can turn any matte into a gloss real quick. I love the one from MAC, their clear lip glass. All right, y'all, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.